Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, don't forget to click the subscribe button if you want more videos about coding interviews. So in this video, we'll be solving the problem LeetCode reverse string. So let's get started. The problem is that they give us a string as an array of characters, and the task here is to reverse this input array of character in place. So for example, if we have this input array of characters, the result should start with the last character and so on. And what we mean by in place is that we must reverse the characters in the array without using auxiliary data structures, or we can say a constant space memory. But in this video, I will show you multiple ways to solve it using the stack data structure and also without using it. So let's start by the first solution. Let's say we have this input array of characters. The first way to solve this problem is by using a data structure, which is called a stack. And as we know, the stack data structure uses something called last in, first out, or we can say a LIFO. So the first thing we will do is to iterate throughout the array of characters, and at each iteration we're gonna add characters to the stack. So once we add them all to the stack, we're gonna implement the LIFO technique, and we're gonna start popping from the stack and add to the output array. So the time complexity for this solution is often where n is the number of character in the inputs array, and the space complexity is often because we're using auxiliary data structure, the stack list, to store the characters in the input string. So the second way to solve this problem, and the best way and the easy way to solve 90% of array problems, is by using the two pointers technique. And the two pointers technique is an algorithm that involves iterating over an array with two pointers at the same time. So the basic idea is to have one pointer that starts at the beginning of the array and another pointer that starts at the end of the array. And we're gonna use those two pointers to swap the element pointed to the start pointer and the last pointer. And after that, we move the start pointer to the next character and the last pointer to the previous character. So until the start is equal to the end pointer or the start is bigger than the end pointer. And that's how we're gonna reverse the array of character and place by using the two pointers technique. So the time complexity for this solution is often where n is the number of character in the input array, and the space complexity is often because we are not using any auxiliary data structure to store the result. That's it guys, so let's jump at coding the solution. So the first solution is by using the stack data structure. So we start by initializing a stack, and we iterate throughout the input string at each time we append or we add the character to the stack list. So after that, we set another loop that iterates throughout the input string, and each time we pop from the stack the character and we assign it to the current index of the input string. The second way to solve this problem is by using the two pointers technique. So we start by initializing two pointers start at the beginning of the array and the end pointer at the end of the array. Then we set a while loop that iterates while the start is less than the end. So inside the loop, we call the function swap to swap the character at the start and the end pointers, and after that we increment start pointer by 1 and we decrement the end pointer by 1. So let's define our swap function. So the swap function takes three arguments, the start pointer and the end pointer and the array of characters. So the function swap the character at I index and G index, and we don't return anything because we are modifying the input string and place. So at the end we'll have an output array reverse and place, or we can write it in one line by using a method in Python called reverse, which is an in-place method that reverses the order of elements in an array and have a time complexity of ofn and space complexity of ofn because it does not use any auxiliary data structure to store the result. That's it guys, thanks for watching, see you on the next video.